times, see what happens. So
So you're kind of cash.
totes, we're a little totes cash.
Ugh, I can't believe we said that. It's so gross. All right, guys. Well, we're getting into the game here. It is game number 1 in this best of 3. It's the finals match of the group for Copa America Season 3. It's Group A. It's the first group of 4 groups in total we'll be going through for the season here. And then, of course, there's going to be a round of 16, semifinals, and all these other wonderful things as we get more to... Actually, no, it's a round of 8 this leads to. That's right. I forgot. I don't know why I thought it was 16. Anyways, point is... these lead towards the end of the season, and while there's points and cash on the line and all these wonderful things, it's all about trying to qualify to get into the final season of Copa America, where there's a massive prize pool. And yeah, we'll see how these guys do. So spawning here in the top right-ish corner of Catalina, it's going to be the the royal blue Zerg player, Jonsnow.
In the middle left as the red Zerg player, it's Blord.
You know what? I remember him saying like, "Oh, that's my girlfriend's name, Adriana Lima," but I never looked her up. So hang on, I need to go Google this before I forget. Adriana Lima.
It's the ugliest person in the world.
Oh, I don't think so. Hubba. Okay, so now I understand why he was like really proud of making that joke. Anyways, Jonsnow, first time they fought at the start of the day, 2-0 versus Blord. I don't know if he can pull it off again. I don't know how that series went, but Jonsnow is a fantastic player, and while he did not win his group just yet, I can certainly see him taking that second spot next to Huck.
Yeah, for sure. And he's probably the one feeling pretty confident as well, because he was the one that 2-0'd Blord, you know. So you go into a game after doing that to someone, and you're feeling pretty good. Now I think the differences in the openers is slight. Blord went for a 16 pool. Which it's kind of an oddly timed pool, because if you're like, it's like a little bit greedier, but not as greedy as like a hatch first. I usually see it.
But he pairs up with gas too, so he's gonna have that going really nice. I don't know if we're gonna see Jonsnow play gasless, but Catalina is certainly not the map you want to play gasless on. I feel, especially against someone who will get aggressive in your face.
Well, that's almost a reason to do it though. Gasless does hold against aggression really well.
It only holds against circling aggression, though. I mean,
yeah, which is what you're only going to be if. I mean, because, well, not so.
I'm not Zerg, so. I'm just playing protest and stream, making sentries and owning nerds.
Yeah, proxy tuning, like, you know, whatever. But no,
are
it's
you
like,
embracing the cheese? Are you embracing the cheese?
No, I don't. I still don't know any cheese builds, but I know all-ins.
Oh, hold up, they used the line again. Maybe this is actually like the team logo.
You know, the more we say it, the more I think that's true.
I mean, it's really nice. It catches my eye here.
Yo, I'm not sure why Jonsnow makes a spine crawler. I mean, I know he saw the gas being taken at like kind of an early-ish time, but he sees the hatchery too. Oh, he maybe. Oh, you know what? Again, we did not see the first 2 games of these guys, so maybe he knows what's going on. And Blord does just throw down a roach warren, so.
Ooh, gets a drone.
I guess that's why. Yeah, completely like not even really scarred. So this is odd from Blord for sure. Still not sure why Jonsnow made the spine color in the main, but he will move it. And he cancels the roach warren and makes a lair.
Okay, this is kind of cool. If he psychs him out and goes mutas, I think that'd be like one of the best options to get around at least what you would expect to be a counter, right? But at the same time, I mean, mutas are really the only option, and if Jonsnow were to get back in there with anything at all, this game just becomes over. But you know, I'm saying this big game about mutas, but he's going for banelings instead. Hasn't taken those extra gases. There we go. Now it takes him. I was gonna say he can't stall out taking that gas for too long, but no, it's an extraction trick. I don't know what Blord's doing at this point. I legit have no idea what this guy is planning.
That was an extraction trick to get 4 lings. I just want to like. I
want to just bring that up. Yeah. He's got no overlords in Q.
How important was that?
Yeah, and he's got no overlords in Q either. Like, what is going on in this game? This is just like super defensive. Like, is he just really, really scared? I don't understand.
I don't understand either. He would have ling speed by now. He would be like controlling the map.
He just put 3 drones in that have minerals in their hands to the
He's
gas
taking a spire with 3 gases, and only 2 of them are mining for like a
This one's not even fully saturated. Yeah, this is all sorts of messy coming out of Blord. I want to stress this real quick, guys. Like, while we didn't see the first series, and we talked about this being 2 and all these other things, we've seen Blord actually play some fantastic StarCraft2 and some really weird games. But while this definitely falls under the category of weird, it falls more also under the category of, let's say, sloppy than weird. Not to get too critical or anything, but that's kind of the case.
It is, and we know that it's not the case. Like, this wasn't a planned build, right? Originally, it was for sure that like the gas and the Roach Warren is something he wanted to do. The fact that it was scouted, he had to keep his plans. So he's not doing a build order, and that's probably why it's getting a little sloppy. But you know, it is getting a little sloppy, and he's gonna finish a Spire and not have any supply. Oh, that's the worst.
Too. He's gonna be able to like just press with this. Like, oftentimes you see players like, oh, a little bit worried about what's going on. Maybe just make some roaches defensively, but he's gonna have enough. Like, if you've got between 9 and 10 roaches, you can and usually should just go with them. The mutas are gonna take so long to clean them up.
That was actually pretty perfectly timed, the overlords.
Yeah, maybe it's not sloppy. Maybe it's like drunken boxing. That's what we're seeing right now.
What a great way to put it. Jonsnow is getting double upgraded roaches, but no roaches. Up there we go. If he gets roaches, of course, there's the very, very typical scenario where you attack with your roaches, buy a lot of time, try and do damage, and you know, just buy time to get spore crawlers. Really, I'm not sure if Jonsnow's gonna do that because again,
he knows. Like,
yeah, Jonsnow has no idea. Usually, you know it's a Spire, and that's why you even move out.
Okay,
if you don't know,
now he knows for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, this one time with the roaches, like, I don't like these left them. He throws in Hydralisk Den, so he's gonna be able to deal with these. But I kind of feel like the clock is ticking, and he's got to go. Like, I don't know. The roaches just seem really useless.
I think he's kind of just resigned himself to not being able to do that. I think it'll be worth it for sure.
It draws the mutas away from home. Yeah. I mean, it's only 3 right now, but it's gonna be
the only reason you wouldn't do it is if you thought that they already had a bunch of spine crawlers, or you know, like a ton of lings. But Blord has neither. He's 1 spine crawler, no lings.
Yeah.
He's depending entirely on these mutalisks, and it's unfortunate that Jonsnow does not know that.
We'll see how badly this comes into effect. Jonsnow's actually bled out quite a few overlords at this point, so I mean he's supply blocked for the moment, but it is still a big issue when you're building very supply intense units like roaches.
Yeah,
especially when mixing hydras later.
Yeah, and he really needs hydras to save his third. The 4 queens actually, they're gonna be enough. That's a lot of transparency.
5 queens, yeah, the DPS is okay, but
there's so many chance uses.
Yeah, you can move the spore call too. You can advance this forward here just a smidge.
It's kind of like a hype.
Roaches, they take no damage from mutalisks. I mean, they're just beefy as hell.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of sucks that Blord wasn't able to do any damage to that third. You know, maybe he'd never get to cancel in the first place, but you know, it would have been good to try. Instead, of course, going for all those overlord kills is fine too. He's still dedicating to the mutalisk though, which is a big surprise. Oh God, I mean, I have, you know, we've seen styles, play against styles where people go from like mutalisk, like they go for mutalisk, you know, more than 10, and they also mix in like lings and banelings. We've seen, like, remember that game that lasted like 25 minutes, and it was just like Ling, Muta, Bling versus Roach Hydra, and we were just like, the Roach Hydra player should have won like 12 minutes ago.
Yep.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of right now. But what's so funny is that Blord never got speed, so he's gonna go for it, but just like, oh, no speed until like 12 minutes, 13 minutes.
I mean, the banelings can certainly deal a lot of damage to the hydras if they can connect, but getting through that wall of roaches is going to be difficult. And unlike Marines, hydras do have a decent amount of health. Oftentimes it's funny because we're referring to them as these glass cannon, weak, fragile units. But in terms of baneling hits, like, it's going to take about 3 or 4 to actually kill a clump of hydras. So as long as he spreads out minorly, I mean, even then he'll be okay. And that's what makes this so strange. Jonsnow also going for the infestation pit. This is really good actually to get infestors out, not just for the mutalisks, but also the banelings.
Exactly. Because you hope and you pray and you think that if you just spread it a little bit that you should win out with your Roach Hydra, but it just they seem to always have an overwhelming amount of banelings. You know, maybe it's because they get their third faster, which Blord certainly did, so he had a lot of gas a lot faster, or I don't know, we underestimate the power of banelings. But you do want to be so careful about just losing because you did not have enough anti-air. So infestors are like the surefire way to like. That's not going to happen as long as you get good, decent fungals.
I mean, the fungals are... It's a lot easier said than done when it comes to landing them, but yeah, if you want to see banelings just churn to the most useless things in the game, land 1 fungal and you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we at this point we'll be saying like, oh, I don't feel so good for the Muta player. Like he's gonna get beaten out just by tech. But then I keep going back to that game where he like almost won after like 30 minutes, and I'm just like, maybe not. Maybe Blord has is gonna work some magic. He's gotta work magic soon though, because again those infestors are on the way.
I love this. These are almost like FU transfuses because an extractor takes nothing to replace. Like it's 25 minerals, big whoop. But he transfuses it to keep it alive, which is effective. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, okay, Mutas, nice try.
He doesn't even need it. He has gas. I'm not even taking that gas. Like,
yeah, no.
But I'm gonna save it because FU.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the most FU transfuses I've ever seen. The infestor's time out here, I think a little bit, actually perfectly here with the pathogen lens, so they'll be able to pop and do a fungal, but. I mean, the one thing here is we gotta hope Jonsnow doesn't tunnel vision too heavily on the mutas. Like, yes, this is a big threat, and I'm kind of worried that maybe Blord is himself tunneling too heavily on the mutas because the generic rule of thumb when it comes to ZVZ is if your opponent doesn't go mutas, don't keep going mutas. It's a good way to throw the game.
It's a generic rule of some people.
That's true, so I wasn't...
It wasn't incorrect.
I've already done a lot of casts today. My brain's checking out on me.
Yeah. Yeah, you did a lot of casting. I still had to wake up really early though. You think
it wasn't a contest. I wasn't like, oh, I did more casting than you.
It's not. Jeez, it's not. But I'm just like, it reminds me about how like frustrated I am that taking care of 4 kittens is so much freaking work.
Well, it's work, but they're so cute.
They are.
This spore crawler with a lot of hydras are gonna get wiped out by the mutas, strangely enough. But he's gonna kill
2 spore crawlers. 2 spore crawlers. That one in the back helps out a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say he gets a lot of muta kills for this. Hardly worthwhile, I'd say, for Blord to dive in like this. I mean, once he kills an extractor, but oh, guess what? This one over here, he actually saturates it. There we go. That's the one in the main dies. So big whoop.
The master plan is revealed. Yeah, now's the time where like the most worrisome thing is maybe not the army fight, but rather just like the counterattacks. So just throwing out a bunch of spore crawlers is not a bad like fix for that. Just just a line of spore crawlers, kind of like a turret line. Line is fine.
Oh, the mutas. I don't know. They're quite numerous is the thing. Like still in 29. Where's those fungal growths at, right? Like look at the amount of queens. Look at oh my god. Look at the amount of queens. There's 17 queens.
I did not realize that there's more than 10.
I didn't realize he was still building them this whole time.
What
like
the
that's
heck? All right then. I don't think he can because now it's like hydras maybe in the best case scenario you hit the hydras.
Push. Look at this push. This is the
think about it. In the best case scenario, you hit the hydras, the banelings, and they don't have any anti-air. If you hit queens with banelings, they're still pretty chunky. All right, like they're gonna take a lot of banelings
you know what?
to still live.
I bet you, and Jonsnow's got the APM for this. I know he does. He could probably transfuse the hydras through the banelings.
Oh my god! But now the counterattack's going, and like, I don't know.
If this is a base trade, it's not gonna work for Blord. You never.
You really don't see a lot of base trades in CDZ.
I was actually gonna come back home, so he's not gonna trade it out. Although a lot of queens distracted over here, kill mutas, whoop whoop. But this is kind of like, oh, you fell into my trap, right? Because now the banelings have been utilized. There's nothing to hit those hydralists.
Oh, okay, he's good.
Yeah, but there's nothing to hit the hydras at this point. I mean, the spore is gonna maybe take a 1 muta with it, sure, but he's got to land that fungal. If he lands a fungal right here,
God.
That's game. This is game. He
God.
catches all of the mutas with this. Disgusting. Oh, Blord just does everything away for killing a 4th. That's it. That's all he got out of this. A couple of drones and a 4th. Big whoopty freaking do. Queen's still slow marching across the map. He cleans up these lings. He'll go for the counterattack. And Jonsnow's army supplies literally 100 over his opponents. And not just that, they're effectively upgraded.
Yeah, being upgraded the entire time. Really surprised that Blord is hitting GG right there, but I guess he thinks that he's on 4 bases. You know, he had a little bit of a bank.
It's the finals of the group. You gotta fight to the last, right? So he makes 10 more mutas. He makes 16 more mutas, whatever that was. But this push with the queens, this push with the mother flipping queens, like how do you even deal with this as Blord? Forget everything else. Like even pretend there's not even hydras here. Pretend there's just roaches and queens and infestors. Like how do you deal with that? Then you've got the added DPS of all these hydras in the back of it. This is insane. There's 18 queens on the front line. I guess the counterattack goes up, but woo.
What do you do?
Actually, this might actually be a problem. I don't think he's gonna out base race him, but there's not an easy hold here for Jonsnow. As you see, the roaches are struggling. The lings are not upgraded, so it's taking a while to kill anything. But Meanwhile, the March of the Queens begins. The Spineclaws are here. Transfused, maybe? No?
If all those queens were at home, he would win. Like, he would be winning right.
Yeah.
It's just so silly to think
Well,
about.
he's still gonna win. I mean, like, this, what, 4
I know, but
mutas?
he would have won already. Like,
yeah, like, nice
Blord
race,
would
bro.
not be here.
By the way, when I say race, I'm not talking about Zerg, obviously. I'm talking about the contest of moving from one point to another, guys. Gosh.
Yes, I love when people say "nice race, bro" in like a TVT or a CBC.
Oh my god, it's actually hurting him to get up the ramp because all the queens are blocking out the good units.
Mass Queen strategy confirmed good when Zombie Grub won with it. All he needs is like failing drops.
They studied your 2v2 pods, and they're like, you know what, let's...
That's one thing that he's missing though, is
Oh,
the failing drops.
you know what this
Very
is?
important part.
You know what this is down here in the
Desperation?
south? Yeah, desperation and BM, like a little bit of both. Just a flavor of one and a hint of the other type thing. Oh, the Fungal misses! But the second one, third one lands, and the Hydras are going to wreck these mutas. Not even close. Oh,
Keep
God.
in mind, this might be the last last series, but it's not the last.
Yeah, it's the first game. It's game 1 in a best of 3 series. I mean, there's plenty of chances for Blord to try something else, but this is just not working at all. Jonsnow's level 2 Carapace makes these lings do no damage whatsoever.
Okay.
GG.
He might really think that he had a chance, but.
Nah, not at that point. Alright, so game number 1 goes to Jonsnow. That was an interesting game. Props to Blord for trying something a little bit different, but what we got to see was an example of why this isn't the current state of ZVZ anymore. Why Mutalisks aren't popular like they once were. Not to mention that fungal growth was pretty good. The one that finally caught them, that is. There's a lot of messy leading up to it. But map number 2 will be merry-go-round, so another 3-player map. Oh man, Snoop's making more graphic guides again. I love that he does this. Oh, even color-coded it? Yo. There you go. That was the invite. Man, so do you like Magic? I don't remember if we've been over this. Like
Gathering?
No,
or...
like Penn and Teller. Like
kind of.
Quarter behind your ear, peers out of nothing sort of stuff.
It's cool, I suppose.
Well, they got this show I kind of like. It's so scripted and they try to pretend like it's not. I kind of hate that aspect of it. It's called Wizard Wars.
That wasn't just an example. That was what you were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, not
okay.
like Magic. No, Wizard Wars is this cool show I just started watching where like they give everybody quote unquote everyday objects, and I think that really stretches it because they give like the competitors like just random things that they have to make a trick out of, right? So like a swing set, a toy car, and like a pack of cards or something, right? And they have to construct like an act out of that, and they compete against each other. Then they fight sort of the house wizards, so kind of like Iron Chef in that regard. And it's all judged by like Penn and Teller and 2 other judges. It's actually really cool. I didn't even know about it till like recently. I'm like 5 episodes in, but dude, that is like my favorite show right now. Despite how cringeworthy scripted it can be at times. But it's kind of I don't know. I love I really loved Fool Us. Did you ever see that when that was on?
No.
Oh, it was really cool. It was like this there's another magician contest, but it was in Europe. Penn and Teller were the only judges, and the way it worked was like if Penn and Teller could figure out your trick after seeing it one time on stage, you lose. But if you win, you get like a show in Vegas or something and like some cash. So really cool concepts. But looks like we are hopping into the lobby. So merry-go-round here. We're just getting everybody ready to go. Everybody. There we go. Countdown's begun. So this could be the last game if it's a 2-0 repeat. If history shall repeat itself, Jonsnow will join Huck out of the group. Or, alternatively, Blord starts bringing this back. Merry-go-round is certainly an interesting map, and if he's going to try mutas, this would, I think, be the map for it, post that last one. But Catalina is, despite a 3-player spawn map, a little bit different than merry-go-round. Lots of terrain differences in this
It has
one.
a lot of dead space, but I feel like ZDZ mutas doesn't really rely on... I don't know.
Yo, speaking of Dead Space, we need to play the co-op for 3 sometime. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I don't have it on my PC.
Oh, whatever. We'll find a way, man.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Copa America. This is Season 3. It's Group A. We've already had Hawk advance out of the group, and this is the finals match to see which player will join him. Spawning in the bottom left corner of the map, it is going to be the Red Zerg player, Adriana Lima, a.k.a. Blord.
In the upper right, as the Blue Zerg, it's Jonsnow from Solaris Gaming.
How sick would it be, by the way, if it was actually like Adriana Lima and she didn't want people to know she played StarCraft2, right? So she makes up this fake thing with like a guy and it's like, oh yeah, I took my name sarcastically, it's a joke, but it's like, really, the person?
So, well, that is entirely unreasonable. I have thought about, like, what if just like famous people played, like, it wouldn't... How are famous people not playing StarCraft? All right,
like,
we got,
you wouldn't know
like,
that Vin Diesel was BMing you on ladder.
Playing League of Legends, okay, like whatever. But we have no one else, like, kind of like, you know, being like, you know, oh hey, I was in this movie and I'm like really popular. Hey, I play StarCraft. No one's helping us. And if they're actually playing StarCraft, I'm severely disappointed. If you're watching right now and you're famous, could you please?
Could you please send me a message, especially if you're Ryan Gosling at CG Gaming on Twitter? No, it's funny though, because I mean, there are celebrities who have been known to play games, and I mean, like, there's the whole stint with like people playing World of Warcraft and all these other things. I wouldn't be shocked if there's like somebody out there, well, that tribute thing. I wouldn't be shocked if there's somebody out there who played StarCraft, but it'd be like one of those things where I'm pretty sure they just play like once in a while. I don't think there's any competitive, famous people playing StarCraft.
Probably not. You know, I mean, I mentioned him just because, like, you know, he named his daughter after like Legend of Zelda, right?
Yeah, I heard that story. How
I was like, I wasn't sure what
the NES in the womb.
You realized like how much he played, but okay. Yeah, I just come on, like, though they probably know about the game too, right? Like, you talk to casual people, by the way, like both open, not cheesy. Although I think Blord opened the same he did last time with like the gap. No, he didn't. He's getting.
I kind of feel like we shouldn't have to state that though. It's like, hey guys, we're not just wasting your time. It's not real, but I could talk about this stuff like any other time. But it's like, there's nothing going on, so let's talk about something else.
Well, Blord is getting just like a one base going on here, so that's a little interesting.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Cats did something similar to this. With the early speedlings,
well, he
can
loves,
do a lot of damage.
What is it, 14-14 or 13-13? I can't, but he loves one of those on this map. You know, whenever I cast him in Copa on this map, I expect it.
This sounds so dumb to say. This doesn't have to be cheesy, though. The problem is, though, he is going to have to at least shut down the hatchery or kill a couple drones so he can get his own hatchery up. But as far as timings go in ZVZ, with the way injects work early on, you usually don't have a lot of money to abuse anyway, so he could still take a hatchery, but never mind, he goes for a lair? What?
I just feel like just doing the all-in would have been, well, not
like, this
really.
didn't have to, like, okay, it wasn't until like we started talking about it that I got to that point where it was getting a little bit weird. Like, it was a later hatchery, and while they're uncommon in ZVZ, they're still viable because we've seen players make those work. Cats, of course, comes to mind above anybody else, but Jonsnow's got so many links, he's gonna have his own speed to match this. Banelings are on the way. Blord, what are you doing? What's the plans here? Like, one base muta? Cats is the only player I've ever seen do one base muta and make it work. Nobody else. This is insane.
That's gotta be it.
I mean, yeah, what else do you do?
Double spore crawler? Why?
I don't know. Maybe... I don't have a reason. I don't know. Like, I thought for supply, but then maybe he cancels it?
It is supply.
Okay.
What?
He did this, remember he double extractor trick for 4 links?
Did you just make an overlord? Okay, sometimes there was legit like couple of builds where like a supply depot call down was necessary. I think it was like a 3 barracks back in the day. But this is just like him being kind of lazy. Like, I don't know. Okay.
Spire coming out. I don't think lazy's the right fit. I mean, we have seen him hit pretty precise.
It would be so
timings,
cool if he was very precise in this build that you needed to do these double cancels.
No, this is nice.
What?
That's what I'm talking about, like the drunken.